Alright, 5th graders, here is your review for your quiz on Friday. Make sure that you have your review sheet that you were given in class and that your pencil is ready to go. If you do not have a review sheet, you may go on the 5th grade math page and reprint one out for yourself. Alright, the first thing that you are going to need to know for your quiz is going to be the 3 different types of forms that you can write a number. The first one is going to be standard form, and your standard form is just going to be your numbers written out. Your second form is going to be your written form, and that is just your words, like you are writing a check to yourself. So we're going to write 6,249,000 587 and remember that decimal says and 586 thousandths. Remember, Miss Wolfla and I want to see that THS so that you can get full credit for your quiz. Alright, expanded form is going to be that math problem. So you're going to write it out. 6 million plus 200,000 plus 40,000 plus 9,000 plus 500 plus 80 plus 7 plus 5 tenths plus 8 hundredths plus 6 thousandths. Alright, moving right along, what is the value of the underlined digit? Remember, when you are working with this, I like to label these up top. Here is your ones place value, your 2 is your tens place value, and here's your tenths place value. Here's your hundredths place value, and your hundredths place value. If there were to be a digit here, this would be your thousandths place value and your thousandths place value. So you don't count the ones, but you play your chopsticks. 10 tenths, 100 hundredths, 1,000 thousandths. So you're looking at your 5, and your 5 is going to be a value of 5 hundredths. Written out is going to be 5 hundredths. Do not forget that THS, fraction form. Your number or your digit is going to be your numerator, which is your top number, and then your place value is going to be your denominator, which is your bottom number. So your hundredths, 100 is your place value, 5 is your digit, 5 is the number that goes on top. Alright, this next one, let's label over the money bridge. Remember, when we're working to the left of the decimal, we are going over the money bridge. The over stands for the ones family. The is the thousand family. Money is your millions. Is your million family, and then bridge is going to be your billions family. We don't have any billions in this number, but we do have millions. So we're going to look at this 7, and the value of that 7 is going to be 700 million. Written out. There you go. Moving right along to your next slide, we are going to compare two numbers. When you go to compare two numbers, the first thing you have to do is line them up vertically, making sure that your place values are in the same place and your digits are lined up. Second thing, remember the 0. Put this place value here so that both numbers have thousandths. Now you can start comparing. 4 and 4, that doesn't help us. 2 and 2, that doesn't help us. This hundredths place value is what we're going to look at and we're going to zoom in on. Think to yourself, 8 is larger than your 0, so you're going to come back up here and put your greater than symbol. Alright, your second example, we're moving and grooving. Line up your numbers vertically, making sure your place values are in line and your decimals are in line. Remember the 0. Put that place value 0 there so that both numbers have a thousandths place value. Alright, now you can compare 6 and 6, that doesn't help us, cross out. 4 and 4, that doesn't help us, cross it out. Your hundredths place value is going to be the one we're going to zoom in on, just like we did on our example up above. 2 is larger than 1, so you're going to come up here and put your less than symbol. Alright, you're halfway through your review. You're doing good. Keep going. Alright. When we compare two numbers, three numbers, four numbers, or 100 numbers, the first thing you do is you always line them up vertically. Now, going back up to your directions, we always need to review our directions first. That is a great example of what not to do. Miss O'Neill started writing before I even knew what the question was asking. So let's come back up here. Write the following numbers in order from least to greatest. Make sure on your quiz on Friday that you know what Miss Wolf and I are asking for. Do not write your answer down in order from least to greatest when the question is asking you greatest to least. Alright, but this one, we want greatest to least, we want least to greatest. Alright, we've written them vertically so that they're lined up. Remember the zeros. Make sure that all of the numbers have thousandths place value. Then you can start comparing. 3, that doesn't help us. The tenths place value is going to help us. The first one has a 0, and then the second number has a 7. Here's a 7, and here's a 0. So we want the smaller of the two. So here's a 0, and here's a 0. So we're going to look at the top number, which has 7 hundredths, and the bottom number has 0 hundredths. So this bottom number is going to be our least number, or our number that's the smallest. The top number is going to be number 2 in line. Then you can look at these two digits. We have 5 hundredths, and we have 0 hundredths. 0 is less than 5, so this is third, and this is going to be your greatest number. So when you go to write your answer, you're going to write them horizontally. Make sure you reference back up to your original numbers, because you do not need to write those extra place value zeros that you put in when you compared. This one, your second number, you're just going to write 3 and 7 hundredths, because that's your original number up here. Alright, third is going to be 3 and 7 tenths, and your largest number is going to be 3 and 756 thousandths. Alright, slide 5, here we go. Reading the directions first to make sure that we know what we want. Write the following numbers in order from greatest to least. Oh, let me get my writing pen back. Alright, here we go. You are going to line up your decimals, you're going to line up your numbers vertically. Alright, they're lined up vertically, so let's compare. 5 million, that doesn't help us. This place value, your 100,000 place value, helps us. We want the largest number first. You have two numbers that have 400,000 and then one number that has 0,100,000. So let's look at these top two numbers. Okay, these 8s don't help us because they both have 8s. You're going to come to your hundreds place value. 7 is larger than 6. So you're going to put your 1 and your 2 over here. And then this number is going to be your least. Alright, we're going to write it left to right. 5,487,259 is going to be your largest number. Your second largest number is going to be 5,486,087. And your number that is the smallest or the least is going to be 5,046,971. Alright, your last slide for your review. Here we go. Write two numbers that are equivalent to 6 and 5/10. Alright, this is going back to the theory that you can put your zeros in as place value holders. Remember the zero. So I can write this as 6 and 5/10, or I can write it as 6 and 50 hundredths, or I can add 2 zeros for my place value holders and write it as 6 and 500 thousandths. Alright, this next example. What number is 100th greater than 6 and 5/10? Alright, do not look at this problem and think, oh my goodness, I can't do this. It says 100th greater, but this number only has 5/10. Look here, remember the zero, put your zero in there and make it have a hundredths place value. So this is like having $6.50, and you are going to add 1/100th to it, like adding 1 penny to your pocket. You are going to have 6 and 51 hundredths. Alright, moving down to your last example. This example says, what number is 100th less than 6 and 5/10? Alright, again, do not panic because this number only has tenths as a place value. Remember the zero and make it have a hundredths place value. Alright, here we go. We've got $6.50 in our pocket. We give 1/100th to our friend, or 1 penny to our friend, and we have 6 and 49 hundredths, or $6.49. Alright, that completes your review for your first quiz. Make sure that you have your review paper in class. Miss Wiffle and I will let you know where to turn it in. Work hard, be nice. We will see you in class.